Hello, my handsome little hobbits. From the Shire to the auditors, we're covering it all today. Here to protect your data and privacy like it's the One Ring. Welcome back to a precious episode of MB2 Underground. I'm Sarah.
And I'm JT. Sarah.
How was that Gollum?
That was pretty impressive, I think. I noticed you didn't say Sarah Keifer.
Oh, excuse me. I'm Sarah Keifer.
Still?
Yeah. That's a whole process to change it.
Okay. Okay. Well, for those undergrounders who don't know, Sarah got married, so she's she's taken.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. No, I liked your Gollum.
Thank you.
Are you a fan of The Lord of the Rings?
Huge fan.
A Hobbit?
Yeah, if I had to choose one series over the other, it'd definitely be The Hobbit. But I think our guest today prefers the OG LOTR.
Really?
I think so.
The Hobbit?
Yeah.
I read that in like 6th grade, and I didn't really care for it.
Really?
Yep.
I loved it because it was one book.
Well, that's true. Versus the 3. But the movies are good. The Lord of the Rings movies are good.
Yeah. So The Hobbits is.
Well, our guest today, yes, apparently likes J.R.R. Tolkien, I think is how you say it. He is MB2's Chief Compliance and Information Officer. He's been here for 8.5 years.
And our favorite little biscuit.
That's right, Mr. Thomas Southam. Welcome, Thomas.
Well, great to be here with you guys. And wow, what an introduction.
Welcome. So was I right? You prefer Lord of the Rings over The Hobbit?
Yeah, I think being English, I prefer any of those works from J.R.R. Tolkien, but it's very stereotypical and very English, but I like it all.
Do you relate to the Shire at all?
You know, interestingly, so the county that I grew up in is called Shropshire.
Excuse me?
Shropshire.
That's a made-up word.
It's wonderful.
Can you spell it? Use it in a sentence. No, spell it.
Shropshire.
No chance.
Shropshire.
Yeah,
so you are from the Shire.
I am.
Just the Shrop of the Shires.
You know, we're going to go way
The cream
too...
of the Shrops. Sorry, okay.
Cream of the shop. We're about to get way too Lord of the Rings nerdy early on, but like my hometown, there's like a big hill called the Wrekin, which supposedly was inspiration from some of J.R.R. Tolkien's work. So super
You
nerdy.
just sat there and looked at a hill and was like, that's the one.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly,
Honestly, it's the only hill around, so no wonder.
can I make fun of English people for just a second?
Just a little.
I have a new appreciation, by the way, because I had an opportunity recently to go to England for the first time, and it's beautiful. Countryside's beautiful.
Yeah.
But you just said that your town, Shire, that you grew up in had a hill.
Not even close.
Like
Shropshire.
Shropshire. Well, it was Townshire, whatever. Shropshire had a hill. Like that was like the... like.
It's known, so the area that I'm from, it's known for this hill called the Wrekin. You made that so weird.
I mean, I wasn't the one that brought the hill up. I'm just curious. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, where I grew up. Like
New York has the Statue of Liberty.
we got a
Shropshire
hill.
has the hill.
That's
The
right.
Wrekin.
We also have sheep as well.
That's my favorite fun fact about Tom is that he grew up in a town with more sheep than people.
Yeah.
I think I've told every single person I've introduced you to that story.
Yeah. It also has a really prominent castle as well. So actually where I'm from is called Ludlow. So,
Why are we talking about a hill if there's a castle?
No, so there's a county and then there's a city. England is so complex as well. So it's from a little area called Ludlow. It's got a massively impressive castle as well there as well.
Okay.
So
That's cool. No, I don't mean to make fun of English people because they were all very lovely, the ones that I met. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny. So being English, and let's just dive right into the really important things. Are you a football fan?
of course,
A proper
fan.
Okay.
I think football it's almost like ingrained into you. Like I
Like
kind of
football here.
like a religion, but not sacrilegious. But so my father grew up in Liverpool, and so there's a very prominent team there called Liverpool Football Club. Also shares with Everton as well. But it becomes like almost part of your growing up and becoming like, you know, an adolescent. You go to games with your father and your mother and all that stuff. So yeah, from a very young age, I went to these football games, and you know, it teaches you like a respectful authority process and just, you know, an appreciation for a collective sport. So I've always loved it.
So how far was Shropshire from
Shropshire.
Liverpool? Shropshire. Sorry, guys, I'm trying.
So it's a good couple of hours away.
Okay.
Yeah. My father moved to Shropshire because he moved out of the big city.
Are you raising your kids with the same football passion?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to. So the funny thing, my kids are obviously American, my wife's American, and they try to emulate my accent terribly, of course. Love them, but they just can't do it.
They've been watching too much Peppa Pig.
Yeah, they do. Like, Daddy, are we going to the cinema today? Like, come on. It's theatre for you guys.
It's a theatre.
Cinema. What would be the like arch nemesis of the Liverpoolers?
So
Glory, Man United.
yeah, it would be Manchester United. Just one of those rival teams. They've always kind of had a natural competition against each other as well. Yeah,
just
absolutely.
They've both been very successful in domestically and abroad, I believe, is how they would characterize it over there.
I forget that you've got like a real soccer kid.
Yeah, real soccer kid.
I have
but
nothing to contribute here.
I love soccer. I'm an Arsenal fan, which I think Liverpool and Arsenal have had a little bit of it, and Manchester City as of late.
You've become more of our rivals. Manchester's little fallen down the pecking order.
There's red and blue. Everything's red and blue over there. Liverpool's red.
I watched
Everton's
Ted Lasso.
blue.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso.
That's my soccer knowledge.
Love Ted Lasso.
Okay.
So much good.
What are we here to talk about?
Football. Right?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Next hour.
No, maybe some compliancing.
Just a little bit.
Ooh, fun.
Or some information or something.
What's more fun, Sarah? Compliance or football?
Compliance. I'm just kidding. I just had to push JT off with that one. But he mentioned you in your intro 8 years ago. Tell us how you got introduced to MB2.
Okay, so about 8.5 years ago, I kind of met with Dr. V and Justin Puck at the same time, and just kind of heard about their passion of where MB2 was and where it was going, and just, I'd worked in a consulting industry for a while, and so it was traveling a lot of the time. It was, away from home, and I was looking forward to kind of establishing myself into one company and help grow in that program as well.
So you were like doing compliance consulting.
Yeah.
So like going in and saying, bad girl, do this better, and then going to the next place.
Yeah, so it'd be very small project-based work, a couple of weeks here and there, and, just take a lot out on you traveling all the time. And then hearing from Dr. V and Justin kind of where MB2 came from and where it was going, it really was refreshing to hear, because being in the compliance field, finding executives that appreciate and understand the importance of compliance was something that I was really struggling to find, especially with all these short-term engagements. And then hearing Justin and Dr. V and their view that it's got to be an integral part of our growth. If we're going to grow, we're going to grow effectively, compliantly, and I was going to be a part of that, help to craft that program. And the vision really stuck out to me, and it was a place that I was like, I don't just see this as a project. I see this as a life, a commitment, a passion, and from there it was an easy yes. It was an easy yes.
I know I started this, but I want to go backwards. So compliance. When you were a little English boy, were you like, I really want to be in compliance when I grow up? Or how did you get introduced to the field?
It's an interesting one.
Or perhaps the hill of compliance.
Oh gosh, back to the hill again.
Well, I just picture like maybe you're the kid on like the playground that's like making sure everybody's like within regulation or whatever.
I was that kid.
The hall monitor.
Surprise compliance officer was a rule follower, but ultimately, it was a career that just tended towards me. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of the nerdy guy that liked reading through regulations, a guy that was very studious, the guy that was...
Terms and conditions.
Oh, yeah. Love a good terms and condition. But it was just a career that naturally fit with my passion, and it was not really well defined at that point. So when I first got into consulting, like the company that I started with, they had a very small compliance consultancy group, and they were looking to just build it out, and it really stuck with me that, because I want to be part of something that's growing, part of something that you can change, and look back and be proud of that. That's why I love being here at MB2, because I look back and it's just glorious.
Was your original firm that you were with, was it healthcare focused or just in general?
So it was a multidisciplinary practice, but
Okay.
I was in the healthcare branch of it as well. So I had, obviously helped grow and morph that program as well, and worked with the different types of from everything from payers, research institutes to healthcare companies like analogous to MB2. And it was an easy switch to come over here.
Gotcha. We haven't addressed this, but I'm very curious. I thought Sarah that was going back to England very quickly. Like, how did you get to America? Like, did your family move at some point?
We should have just done this whole podcast in reverse.
We really
Tell us about
should.
where you're at now,
Yeah.
and then
but
maybe Tom.
So you grew up in England,
Yep.
and you moved here family-wise, or did you move here after university?
Yep, great question.
Uni.
So, yeah, after uni, Sarah knows me well. So,
Did you take a holiday? Okay, I'm done.
That I think is one of my favorite things that English people say when they go on vacation. It's holiday, and I'm like, that is amazing. Like, that's what we need to call it over here in America.
I would always be like, which holiday? Stupid.
hey y'all, can you calm down?
You're like, it's June.
Y'all?
There's no holidays.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. Back to
So my father had been living in America for quite a while. So probably when I was 15, he moved over and parents aren't together. So when I finished university, undergraduate, was in the University of York. It's Northern England. Very, very, very beautiful area. Definitely,
It is very beautiful.
Definitely. You've been to York?
I went to York when I was in England.
Wonderful.
The big
Minster.
Minster is beautiful.
Absolutely.
It was awesome.
Glorious place. I was very privileged to go to a nice place like that in a university in England.
What the hell is a minster?
The church.
Oh.
I'll show you pictures afterwards. No. You're good. Like Westminster Abbey. You're familiar with that? It's where Princess Di. Well, she got buried.
So is that like West Church Abbey? Okay. Anyway, so 15.
York Minster is what it's called.
York Minster. Yeah. Sarah, you need to make that a visit when you go to England.
Deal.
York. Okay,
It's York was a really cool place. Sorry, we are completely off track here, but you went to York.
So to University of York,
Yep.
Northern England, and so once I graduated when I was 20, and then my father was obviously living in the States, and just England's lovely, but I was wanting a change, and then it was natural to kind of take the progression over here to come to the US as well. Good job market, and just love the American way. Maybe I was just an English guy indoctrinated with all those American TV shows, but I thought it was going to be wonderful.
Wait, which
over
one was
here.
your favorite?
The Office.
Okay. You got real weird. I was like, is it the nanny?
Office,
The Nanny?
an English TV show adapted for American television.
And it's probably made when I was over here in the US as well.
It
So
probably
I
was.
probably gave it.
That's fine. I was hoping you were going to say like MacGyver. Like that'd have been pretty sick.
Oh, that is, yeah.
So when you landed in the States, did you end up just where your dad had been living? Or I am always curious how when people come to America, they choose where they choose.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of land.
Yeah, so interestingly, I mean, my I guess career path could have gone a lot differently when I first moved over here. So had an offer here in Texas, and then also a similar offer up in Boston, Massachusetts as well.
These were different.
So yeah, absolutely very different. Actually, Boston's probably more similar to England and London as well. A lot of commonalities there. But I mean, had two paths to take, and ultimately, I think my father living here in Dallas swayed me to taking the opportunity here, and wonderful decision to come here. I love Boston, but it just didn't seem like it would have been the true home for me. But yeah, I moved over here when I was little over 20. Been here ever since.
So how did you find MB2? I'm kidding. We've already been there. Ha ha ha.
But what were the early days like? Because you kind of came over and built the infrastructure and the compliance department we have now. And I know we'll talk more about the IT side of things, but what were the early days like?
The early days were like, 'cause compliance, especially dental compliance, there wasn't really like the expertise out there as well. So it's kind of like building a program, but also building the talent under as well. You could have people that understand like HIPAA or whatever, but they don't understand how it applies to dental. So it was over those years identifying the talent, building the talent up as well. So, when I started, there was 2 other people in the compliance team. And, I think at its peak, we got to over 25 individuals.
Wow.
We've gradually refined with technology and to help us become more efficient. But we have a very well-sized compliance team. A lot of organizations do understaff those departments as well, which has always been a very disappointing thing to see in the organization, under investing in an area that ultimately is for revenue preservation. But fun.
Yeah.
So your title being Chief Compliance and Information Officer, over time, like since I've been here, I've seen, and I think we've probably all seen this just generally, like technology and IT has become such a big part of everyday everything, right? So how have you seen that change, like compliance change to incorporate technology? I mean, you just mentioned technology becoming a bigger part of being able to use that to supplement. But how are those two almost synonymous at this point, or how have you seen that change?
Yeah. Well, firstly, I think the pairing of compliance and IT is something very natural, but it's also something that you don't really see in the industry. A chief compliance and information officer, that collective role isn't really there. They're very segmented roles normally. And ultimately, since we paired those two together, the IT frameworks are so related to regulatory compliance, but it made logical sense. So you're having someone that understands the true regulatory implications behind IT, made sense for the organization as well. So how it's changed is, seamlessly integrating technology and ensuring regulatory compliance.
Well, and you mentioned it's disappointing seeing how, I don't know the right word, undervalued compliance can be in a business, especially a healthcare business. What is something you wish people knew that would help them acknowledge or realize the importance of compliance?
Well, I think organizations tend to only invest in compliance when stuff's hit the fan.
Yeah.
So converting that mentality from being reactive to proactive to investing up front as opposed to having to build a program because you're under, whatever it may be, like restrictions at that point is the correct mentality, because organizations barely want to invest in chief compliance officers these days, but going ahead and putting that role in place like really sets you up prime for the future as well. So not just waiting to have a slap on the wrist, but putting that program in place.
And how does that look? I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but you're talking about companies rarely wanting to invest in chief compliance officers. How does that evolve as we consider potentially entering the public markets?
How does it? I mean, there's a lot more stringent rules around that. So I think public organizations naturally have more of this type of role in place, but the role becomes like it's a very visible role. Like the implications are very public as well. So like having
scary.
Yeah.
It's like I only wake up screaming in the middle of the night once a week.
But yeah, over time, it's like we've built the framework that makes the lift to getting, public much easier from a regulatory standpoint, because we put the framework in place. We've put the resources, the technology in place. A lot of organizations are kind of like, oh crap, now we have to build a program.
Yeah.
So what would happen, going back to the undervaluing of compliance until something happens, like what's something catastrophic? Like give myself and the listeners an idea of like what's something catastrophic that happens that can absolutely impact your business, like in a very, very detrimental way that then you are now recovering from, as well as trying to build a team around.
Yeah, I think a very topical one we've mentioned would be to go into cybersecurity attacks.
I was going to say, I remember Dr. V's episode 55. Go back and listen.
Holla.
That was one of the things that I think
poll, by the way.
might have asked what's keeping you up at night, and cybersecurity was the thing that he was talking about.
Yeah. And frankly, most companies should be keeping their leadership up at night as well, because I think it would be terribly depressing to find the great many companies out there that are underinvested in necessary technology to protect themselves from cyber attacks. I mean, I'm sure as every listener here can attest to, we've all received letters in the post about our information being breached. I mean, I won't mention any names, but it seems like routinely we get those letters. So
I get them in the mail though.
Yeah. I don't know what the post is, but
these guys love them. Yeah, so investing up front, because a couple of stats for you guys. So when it comes to like cybersecurity breaches, like a social security number goes for about $1 on the black market. And
sick. Nice.
we're that cheap.
yeah, but healthcare information.
I just love that he's got that stat. Like that's something that doesn't even cross
boom,
my
compliance officer.
Yeah, I mean, drop the mic.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Pat would get upset.
Yeah, he's looking upset. Yeah. And then the corresponding like healthcare records, so your personal healthcare information will sell for usually 10 times that.
Why?
I think it's just because that's the way that you can fabricate someone's identity. The precursor to identity theft comes from building a complete profile on an individual. So
instead of being like, I have your social security number, I'll make up your life, I'm actually going to steal your life.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're like, hey, I would impersonate Tom from Shropshire. And I've got his social security number.
Yeah. I mean,
and nothing else. But now I know that, he's in great health and he goes
I've just always never been afraid of it because I thought, who really wants my identity? But you're saying there's like genuine threats out there.
There's a market out there for that as well. That's why these healthcare breaches, quite often, the threat actors will ask for, it's normally Bitcoins, but they're asking for an ungodly amount of money and
wait. So like our healthcare data in these cyber breaches is being held hostage?
Yeah. So
like
some of the
we'll give it back to you if you pay us?
Yeah.
Do we ever pay them?
You shouldn't pay them.
Okay, yeah.
Because companies should have necessary protection in place of backups and that type of safeguards in place. So when it comes to these breaches as well, so as I said, there's a disproportionate amount of money that goes towards like selling the personal information. So healthcare organizations should invest in the technology to protect themselves as well. Because when you see a lot of these breaches, more often than not, it's from companies that are underinvested in key areas like antiviruses, like making sure that they have like a leadership team over IT, something that knows best practices as well. So that's kind of why the unique pairing of MB2 here, putting compliance and IT together, means we don't sacrifice one for the other.
That's cool. How do you and your team stay ahead? I mean, there's so much is changing, not only with just rules and regulations, but also with technology and, like the Russian hackers. That was something that was big a few years ago, right? I assume it probably still, the Nigerian prince that emails or texts everybody about, having a fortune. Like, how do you guys stay ahead of like the next thing?
Yeah.
And what is the next thing?
Well, the next thing is, it's already here, and it's AI-backed hacks. So typically, like when it came to ransomware or security incidents, it normally was, some keyboard warriors with some like Python scripting behind them type of thing. But now technology has come to the point that you have AI software that is relentlessly attacking organizations. So there's an infinite number of combinations it can like tackle at a very short amount of time, these hacks. So organization, this is a time to invest. This is a time to go back to your respective boards to get a good budget in place for cybersecurity protections, because antivirus is just one thing you need. You need to get like good log reporting. You need to get like the right architecture in place, data backups, like all these things which are woefully underappreciated in the market is something that needs to be on the strategic plan for these companies.
We should call this episode the fear-mongering episode, because I'm terrified.
No, not.
I'm glad that we have a chief compliance and information officer on our team.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
I think most of the time, this is maybe my perception of it all. You get an organization, and MB2 could be a good example of that, right? You start with an idea and it's small, and then it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. And along the way, you're trying to build and provide the framework for your organization to continue to exist, not outbuilding it, right? You're building it to the organization then, and then the organization grows. I've got to imagine a lot of the underlying technological structure and compliance framework is patchworked or like duct taped together over time, and then something ultimately breaks it and you kind of rebuild it to the, you put the sophistication in. Is that a fair
I think
assessment?
that naturally when you're like aggregating locations as well, like in multi-site healthcare companies as well, there does become an element of how you fuse that organization's security with your own. But I think this is where the trade-off needs to happen. You need to make sure that you are not sacrificing security for just patching in an entity. So like making sure that the security is not sacrificed as well. So like, what's great for MB2 is like when we have our compliance committee meetings, we have all facets of the organization that's actively involved in that IT program as well, and it's appreciated at all levels. So it helps us to plan, like not just worrying about like, I don't know, like financial data safety, but we also think about it from a marketing implication. I would strongly recommend that other organizations do that same thing as well.
Very cool.
I have so many questions, but I don't know that they're, sorry.
We're
I'm
on a
like sitting here
podcast.
going through my head, and I'm like, it's kind of terrifying thinking about the risk that a lot of these organizations have.
Yeah.
I know we talked a little bit about staying on top of like the next thing. How does that work for your team on the compliance side with all the different states and all the different regulations? How do you guys stay on top of those so that our practice owners don't have to? That seems like a huge undertaking.
Oh yeah,
It is.
COVID maybe is a great example of that.
Oh, do you remember that? Do you remember when COVID happened?
What's that? Yes,
Yeah.
I remember the sleepless nights.
I remember the daily phone calls with Tom.
Everyone loves it. That's why I'm pretty sure that's why they hired me, because the English accent delivers news wonderfully.
Doesn't it though?
Wait, you have an English accent?
No, I don't.
Kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think that from a compliance perspective, kind of how you manage a very comprehensive set of state rules in this modern day comes from like utilizing the technology available. So like AI is becoming a very integral part of like kind of business operations as well. So kind of you can use technology out there to disseminate these rules in a way that can really present it to you, to leadership, for us to work out what strategy needs to come next as well. So kind of complementing the personnel aspect of it with technology is really how you stay up to date with that as well. Because it's highly impractical to have individuals reading through state dental board regulations, reading federal registers, whatever that may be, and which there are hundreds of permutations out there. So supporting your people with technology is key, not underinvesting in compliance as well. Because there are tools out there that we've kind of put in our holster that helps us out.
compliance isn't as sexy,
Yeah.
like in name. Like, so when you talk about and you think about personnel and bringing people in, like, what are you looking for, and what makes somebody like a great team member on, like, from a compliance perspective?
Yeah, because I think if you're looking for people passionate about compliance like yourself, it may be a little harder, or is it?
There is a limited market of people that are highly passionate about compliance, but I think it's finding people that want to be problem solvers, that want to kind of take that compliance is not just this narrow regulatory like band here. Like, we do have a direct impact on the patient experience as well.
How so?
Because like ultimately, like, for an office to function compliantly and to operationally efficient, they have to be free of like corrective action from payers, have to be free from the burdens that come from like OSHA audits and inspections. So like
Fear.
For an office not having to worry about that means they can focus on what's important, what should be important, the patient experience as well. And
They're not worried about the fear that they have that something's going to
Yeah.
blow up and go wrong. They can engage
yeah.
more in real time.
And ultimately, if compliance and IT is doing its job, you shouldn't know we're here. We should just be in the background running like kind of that smooth engine.
Yeah.
And kind of like a good analogy, I guess, would be from a football boy over there would be like take a football game, right? Like, you've got the attackers, midfielders shooting, scoring goals, and that's ultimately the people looking after the business operationally and the patients. And then you've got like the compliance and IT. We're the goalkeepers. If we're doing our job good, you don't really know about us. But if we're doing our job bad, we're letting goals in, you know about that as well.
Or like
like-
the kicker. American football.
Yeah, there you go. Like a place kicker. Like,
Thank
hey,
you for calling.
he's there on the team, and you know when he misses a field goal, but you don't really pay attention until he does that. So those are both great. Nice
Yes.
job, Sarah. Sports Sarah. We're gonna start
Sports
calling
Sarah.
you that.
Yay, sports. So you're talking a little bit about technology. I know we've touched on a few different iterations of it, but what technology are you excited about or see in the future coming that gets you motivated?
I think from the IT side, it's more seamless management of vendors as well. So vendor risk management, kind of taking more automation around managing these vendors. I would say from the compliance perspective, more organic fusing of AI into routine job functions as well. So if it's like claim auditing, if it's billing auditing, like there's opportunities to have like much more scalability without necessarily just adding a disproportionate amount of headcount as well. So I think the opportunity there for the AI market to really add value organizationally in the compliance field, we're starting to see. But I still think that's got to mature as well. There are solutions out there that do it to a very minute scale, but holistically, it's got a long way to go. And then, to reiterate on the IT side, it's just more threat preventative software out there for organizations that like means that you don't have to hire an army of people managing your security systems, that you've got like an AI backed center that can manage it for you as well. And I think that we're getting there. AI is integrated in most of our business functions these days. And yeah.
Okay. Man. I feel like
It's so fun.
what was that?
It's so fun, all this compliance IT talk.
No, it's really interesting. Like if you're sitting here actually listening to it and like comprehending what you're saying, like it's really interesting because
You're paying attention and you're smart.
you don't have to be smart, but there's so like every day. I mean, this podcast, like it works on technology and we're able to do it because it works. Heaven forbid the day we walk in here and it doesn't work, we can't do it. Like then we recognize it's there, and so it really is. It's fascinating with how much and how embedded all of that is in practices or corporations or just everyday life, whether that's personal or professional.
Oh yeah, those AI diagnostic tools out there for the dental offices, it really is.
It is.
I mean, it provides our doctors with extra tools to confirm diagnosis, and ultimately, I think we're just going to see ingrained into more clinical functions over time as well.
We talked a little bit about what's upcoming that you're excited about. What's something you guys have recently done that you're like really proud of?
Recently proud
That's a good
of.
question, Sarah.
Thank you.
I would say something that we've been recently proud of is we've kind of morphed our OSHA auditing to be a lot more automated for our offices as well. So another like regulatory burden for officers is worrying about that pesky set of rules. So what we try to do is make it as digestible but minimally invasive for our officers as possible. So we've kind of fused a solution together that's very minimal on resource allocation, but does an effective job as well. So, and that we expect to see more of over time as well, whether it's inbuilt solutions from us or kind of getting more vendor management solutions out there. Ultimately, with not having our dental office personnel being overly burdened with compliance activities when they should be caring about the patient experience, as we talked about.
Any interesting issues that you've helped MB2 overcome, whether that's like on a case-by-case basis or just a global, you've been here almost as long as I have, so it's kind of cool to think about the growth and evolution of, compliance and IT over the last 8.5 years. But what's something that you've done that's like, I don't know, cool? You've done a lot of cool stuff, but like a big threat that you've helped MB2 overcome.
I think the big threat we've overcome has just been from integrating more antiviral technology into our offices as well. So organizations, as I mentioned before, tend to underinvest in this. So there are tools out there like AI-backed antiviruses, which we integrated across the environment, which we're really proud of that, because normally organizations will go for the cheaper option when it comes to that. So having like the executive buy-in and the budgetary buy-in to make sure that we can put these industry-leading tools has really been a major win for us. Because as a compliance officer, normally, you're fighting to get compliance as representation on the board, the respect and all of that. And here it's easy. I mean, Dr. V, it's an integral part of our executive meetings, it's an integral part of our forward planning. So it's like having that buy-in. Normally you have to fight years and years to get it, and I've got it. And I feel very privileged to be working with a team of professionals that appreciate and understand that as well. And it's not just from our leadership. I think that's cascaded down to our owners and to our wonderful office personnel. Everyone knows that like when they get to hear my wonderful compliance videos once a year, they're gonna
we're supposed to watch those?
You mean we do watch those once a year?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to touch on?
No.
I've got one more question for you.
Hit us.
All right. Well, two more questions, kind of one. What do you miss? I want to go back to England or your journey across the pond. Like, is there something that you miss day in and day out about home or where you grew up?
I dare to mention the hill again because you might attack me for that.
That one hill.
But
can we see this hill so that we understand the
We'll
magnitude?
look. Yeah, Pat, can you pull that up for us?
It's called the Recon Pat. Put it on there.
Just like overlay it on our video.
Okay, so beside the hill and being able to access football games regularly in person, which I am going to go ahead and assume that that's one of the things. But
yeah,
what else? Anything else that you miss?
I miss a good English Sunday roast. So
I had one in England on Sunday.
You
yes.
did.
It was great.
It is. It's a rite of passage for like English people. Every week, the end of every week on a Sunday, you get all the family together. You cook this obnoxiously big meal loaded with meat and vegetables, and I mean, it just sounds like Sarah's like sounds pretty basic, but it's
sounds
just you get your whole family together, and it's where you talk over the table, and you just kind of. You have that bonding experience.
Do you do that with your family here?
We do.
That's awesome.
We do. And but I miss having that extended one with my whole family over there as well. But I feel like that right has been fused into my family over here, which I feel very privileged at as well. But I do miss that with my extended family in the UK.
What was the biggest culture shock when you got here?
Oh, yeah.
Biggest culture shock? That no one walks anywhere.
Yeah.
So, well, that may also be a Texas thing.
Yeah,
I've been to some pretty walkable places.
Yeah, you're very right.
It's very hot here.
You're right, but even when it's not that hot,
it's pretty spread out there too.
Yeah, like I live a couple of miles from a grocery store. No, not a couple of miles from a grocery store. Maybe like 10 minutes from a grocery store.
Driving?
No one. 10 minutes walk.
Okay.
No one walks. And when I'm walking,
then you have to walk your groceries back.
Yeah. Well, you just get a little bit of meat for dinner or whatever. You don't need to drive the car all the way there. But what I mean is, I had someone stop and ask me, "Are you okay? Do you want me to drive you home?" I was like, "Yeah, just got some meat for dinner."
You accidentally hitchhiked when you first got here.
But yeah, sometimes I miss the very Englishy things. I miss our very bland food. love it.
There's
But ultimate
the food is very bland. I can
bangers and mash.
bangers and mash. You know what I do miss though? You know what I thought was excellent over in England?
Yeah.
Candy.
Candy?
You guys have good candy over there because it's not.
I'm sorry. What's a banger? Before we get too far off of that, I'm assuming mash is taters.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the banger?
What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
What goes with mash?
I had a lot with mash.
Sausages.
I have never eaten taters and sausage before in my life.
Like mashed potatoes and
And sausage.
sausages?
No.
You never?
No. Okay.
It's a game changer.
Okay.
Little gravy on top.
A little gravy.
Do they call it gravy over there?
The gravy over here is a little strange.
Why?
That white creamy gravy over here.
No. It's got to be brown gravy.
No, white gravy all the way.
I'm man over there.
Okay, sorry. You had
No, I was just saying like the candy. That was something I realized. Like candy over there, it's probably not loaded with sugar like it is over here.
What's the
Exactly.
point?
No, it's good though. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yes.
Really, really good. But
And the pubs, of course. We got some good pubs in England.
oh,
That's the only thing I did. We had, when I was coming back from Amsterdam, we got stuck twice. So we had 24 hours in London and then like 12 hours in Chicago. And in London, we pubbed it up.
that's cool.
I was so grumpy. I was like, I don't want to be here. I hate this place. But I look back on photos and I was like, oh, that was fun. I had a good time. Big Ben was real big. That sounds dumb, but like you see it in real life,
Yeah,
oh,
that's right.
That's a big old Ben.
The thing, we were there for like a week, and the thing that I just couldn't comprehend was driving on the other side of the road. Like I never knew when I
Did you
crossed.
do it when you were
No,
over there?
I didn't rent a car. But when I would cross the road,
did.
I didn't know whether I should look left or right or both or which way. Like I just could never figure that out. Maybe it's just because I'm not that smart.
That's how it was for us in Scotland. I don't think it's smart. I think it's terrifying.
Okay.
Oh, Scotland's one of my favorite places.
Oh my gosh, same.
Whereabouts did you go?
We did Amsterdam. We went to Zandvoort for a day, and then we went to Edinburgh and Glasgow.
Okay.
Did
Lovely.
not love Glasgow, but I loved Edinburgh. Oh, and St. Andrews.
Okay.
That was where Brad drove to St. Andrews, and it was horrible. I mean, he did a great job, but it was just
Great
like
job,
being on
Brad.
the other side of the road. One girl got car sick, then it's like you got to come back. It's terrifying.
Yeah, Edinburgh's one of my favorite places.
Oh my gosh,
Beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful
yes. If I could go back, I would. That was my favorite part of the whole trip.
That's cool.
Wonderful.
I digress.
Thomas, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy.
This has been fun.
It's been wonderful.
And
Thank
I'm
you for
sorry I
inviting
made
me.
fun of your comment about the hill.
It's fine.
I'll have to go look it up now.
Everyone's going to look up the hill after
They
this.
are.
The Wrekin.
They are. We'll
Like
have to,
just one more time.
we'll have to store that in MB2 Underground lore.
Wonderful.
Hey, MB2 Undergrounders, we've reached the conclusion of our latest episode with Chief Compliance and Information Officer Thomas Southam. We look forward to talking and seeing you guys next time.